just tell us about your take on the finance bill 2024. It has brought to a lot of complaints, a lot of complaints from Kenyans. What is your take on this proposed bill?
Thank you very much. My opinion on the proposed finance bill that will be brought up soon before Parliament is really disheartening. It is a proposal that is going to hurt Kenyans economically. It is a proposal that if you look at it deeply, there are some of the items, some of the issues of concern that has been brought up in the proposal way from 30 years ago. The ideas like imposing a 16% tax on bread. This is an idea that was there during Moi's era. This is an idea that will be so hurtful to Kenyans, because if a Kenyan cannot afford a bread, and therefore you will know that again at that particular moment there is a big problem, and that problem can lead to anything. Remember in France, when there was a revolution, the French Revolution was caused by one simple thing. When the wife of the leader was asked about bread, people were demonstrating that they wanted bread. Then she came out and said that if you don't have bread, why don't you eat cake? That is what Ruto is simply trying to tell us. Because if people couldn't afford bread, how could they afford a cake? Right now, if Kenyans can't afford just a bread, for a child just to take one slice to go to school with strong tea, what is Ruto trying to tell us? Ruto campaigned on a platform that he was a hustler and that he was to protect and defend the interest of hustlers. Ruto now has turned to be a dynasty who is now pilfering money. Actually, this is equivalent to fraud. Biting more than he can chew, stealing more than he can pocket, and I can assure him that Kenyans are going to rebel very soon. Right now we are working on a way that we are going to remove Kenyans from different parts of this country, not only to demonstrate, but also to chart a path that they will feel is safe with them. And so many people will be crushed along the way because Kenyans are already hungry. And you can't advise a person who is already hungry. That person will be hungry and angry. Therefore, the finance bill that will be coming soon is going to hurt Kenyans economically. And the income, the surprising thing is that the income is constant. So you cannot increase the expenses of Kenyans without increasing their income. If you would have increased people's income, it would be better. But again, not many Kenyans are employed. We know that it is only around 100,000 Kenyans who are in formal employment. The rest are in informal sectors. But while others have no jobs at all. So therefore you cannot continue. We used to say this in campus, that you continue pickpocketing a naked person. And in law they say nemodat quod non habet rule. That you cannot spend what you don't have. Kenyans don't have this money. What will they spend? You cannot expect blood from guavas. So therefore, President Ruto, as we all know, is that he's a very clueless president. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to manage a nation. Whatever he's implementing is too hurtful, and definitely should expect serious reaction from us. Because for every action that he employs, we will apply equal and opposite reaction. But this might not be equal. It will be above equal, so that at least Kenyans can know the way forward. Definitely we are headed in the wrong direction.
There is a 2.5 motor vehicle tax that is being proposed. It's a new one, where, of course, if you have a motor vehicle, 2.5% tax of the total, of the value of the vehicle. Maximum, it's 100,000. 5,000 is the minimum. Also weighing on that, and taxes on bank services, check and loans, 16%.
First of all, if I talk about the service industry gives Kenyan economy over 61%. It contributes to 61% of the Kenyan economy, then followed by agriculture. If we talk about the service industry, which has banking and insurance, if a mwananchi, a common mwananchi, a hustler goes to take loan to do business, then we increase tax on this loan in terms of the loan interest being given by the central bank rates. The moment it goes high, the way it is high, the loan interest will be higher. Then in addition to that, you put an additional charge, the transaction cost, which is still higher. So the question is, why do we want to burden a common mwananchi with all these taxes? That person who's going to take loans to do business, what money will that person be left with for their businesses, to start business, to use as a capital to start business? It means that we are killing even businesses in this nation. We are discouraging borrowing. People can't do business without borrowing. They have to borrow because there is no serious source of capital for them to do different businesses. And then when you come to motor vehicles, it is too wrong. When Ruto was talking in Naivasha, he said very well that Japan will bring cars here and therefore people will even buy vehicles on duty free, right? He said that if you go to a car yard in Naivasha, you will get vehicles that are very affordable and cheap prices. But what is he doing now? He is now imposing another 2.5% tax on the original value of a vehicle. That alone tells you that we are losing direction, because Ruto is literally taxing everything. If you go to Central, is now, if he sees that in your compound you have a fruit, like you have a fruit, a mango fruit, if you have avocado, he sends KRA people to climb the top of a tree to count the number of avocados in your compound, and is imposing tax on every avocado. Surely, what are we doing as a nation? This is just, Ruto is reducing this country, I don't know to what, to be honest. This is a person who used to be a vice chairman of CU, Christian Union. What happened with power? You know, I'm so concerned because he's a fellow Kenyan like myself. I'm so concerned because we are losing one important sheep of Christ. You see? And you see, the Bible even says that if you lose one sheep, you should work 10 times harder to bring that sheep into the homestead, right? Back home. So this is a sheep that is lost. And Ruto should be the person that he used to be. That person who was in Chiromo. That person who was in CU. That person who mastered the Bible. That person who could counsel people because of poor marriages. That person who did his best while in campus. A very, very good student. Ruto has turned out to be a rogue. To be a different person. And now he was named Zakayo, so he's becoming even worse than Zakayo. Even Zakayo gave up. Zakayo in the Bible gave up and returned everything, honestly speaking. But what is happening now? Eh?
So
We give up.